All right, the Reds. How are we? Me, Kev, and obviously Connor. If you are tuning in on the repeat, do get involved in the comment section below. You're absolute legends. Really do appreciate you all tuning in. And just before we were coming, for the Irish Reds out there, bacon and cabbage, Kev. I know it's a bit of a mad way to start the show, but do you just have it on its own, or like?
No, but I'm on keto, so I just had bacon and cabbage. But normally you would have mashed potato, and then maybe on the sides maybe baby potatoes, and then you load a bit of gravy, some peas, some carrots, stuff like that. The full deal. But bacon and cabbage is the main. It's like when you say, it's like when you say fish and chips. You have fish and chips, but sometimes you have a bit of curry on the side or something. It's whatever. But it's called fish and chips. So bacon and cabbage is bacon and cabbage, and it's just Irish staple as long as Ireland's been Ireland.
Yeah, sorry there, chat. Kev, I just thought he was just having that just on its own, but
I did.
Then you
but I did have it.
Potatoes and that.
No, not normally people add it on, but today I had it on its own because I'm on keto.
Can we just talk about how McKendall said that's how weird that is?
It's all right, chat.
Weird about it. As weird as English people eating fried Mars bars. Come on.
The Scottish people. Scottish people.
The very first time I ever seen it was in Leeds in Liverpool.
What, deep fried Mars bar? Oh. Nah.
Yeah, but that's Leeds. Leeds is his own different.
Yeah,
we don't have to go on about that.
Yeah, Connor, you're the specialised chef between all three of us, Jas. If you want any cooking tips, go and.
That's normal, to be fair.
Yeah,
but to be fair,
have you had anything nice tonight?
I've had glorious water. But to be fair, we're going to turn the internet. You can tell it's international break. We're talking about scrying instead of talking about football. That's how we're going to move on tonight.
Certainly better than watching England anyway. Put it that way. Reds in the live comments. Big up there. Yeah, I made up. You've actually got a microphone now.
I know. Yeah, I've no more sangria. I'm home. But
so you've got it on tap water. You're on tap water there now.
I wish. Lovely.
Yeah. But chat, let's get to all you the Reds tuning in anyway. Big up there, Lee. How are we, mate? What's the show about? So the plan, well,
food.
Food.
Bacon and cabbage.
Ready, steady, scouse. Bit of might talk about the lobster pot like we did a couple of months ago.
Name the sauce. Who lives in a house like this?
No, we need to play. We need to play The Price Is Right and how much a food item costs.
I can do it. I play that.
Yeah, especially do Manchester United signings. Is it more than 100 million? Yes.
Well, to be fair, we won't order from Manchester United because anybody knows their chicken is always raw, so we're not going to talk about that.
Or is it there's no leaky roofs in this gaff anyway.
Is the Ajax goalkeeper any good? Because I think that's the only position they haven't bought from Ajax.
Well, Onana.
Well, Onana was from Ajax.
Was the Ajax? Not mine then. Where is it? Yeah, I forgot that. Oh, no.
You've had the manager, you've had the right back, you've had the stuff. You have to, yeah. Weghorst has gone to Ajax now, anyway. So, but chat, great way to start the show. But as you know, it's all off the cuff round here, anyway. So, look up there, Trev. Good evening, lads. Yeah. So, in terms of slots, Klopp to slots, we'll speak about how we anticipate not just this season, but in terms of going into next season and the year after as well. How we hope, as a fan base, really going forward, how Arne Slot does develop this Liverpool team in terms of speaking of the defence, the midfield, the attacking players as well, and what we've learned so far, and then going into the next couple of weeks as well, what we do hope to see from Liverpool. So that's the crux of the show, if you want, mate. But it's about Slow as well. He's coached the players to quickly adapt, 100% there, mate, and that's what we'll speak about tonight. John, good evening, guys. Are you worried about Mac Allister's injury? Connor, I'll let you talk about that, mate, obviously. Before I done a show last night. Connor, you didn't do one, but you do one tonight. Make sure you head over to the Cop Council at 9 p.m. He will be live, and if Connor needs us, we'll be on the show anyway. So, yeah, Connor, obviously we had news yesterday that obviously a lot of news 24 hours prior to the Chile game this 2 o'clock in the morning, that he was injured, but he started. And everyone's like, that relayed the fears because he was in pictures a couple of hours before in the lineup and training and that. But now, off the back of that game, looks like supposedly he's allegedly picked up another injury, is it?
Not another injury. It's the same injury, isn't it? So yeah, on what day are we on? We're on Friday. So on Wednesday afternoon, it was reported that again he obviously still suffering from the challenge from Casemiro on the weekend. There was reports that came out from Argentina saying that he was training alone and doing no contact. And then just all of a sudden last night. He started against Chile, scored the opening goal against Chile as well, which was a really, really good goal. And then, today now, I think about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, again, it got reported again that he is suffering again from that abdominal injury, which, again, I think all of us can say the same thing in it. Like, get him out of there, get him out of international, because, I don't want Alexis Mac Allister being injured at all, from Argentina. So, I think does anyone know, chat, if last night's game was Copa America?
It was.
They're going to win that game. It's like you don't need to risk an Alexis Mac Allister for it. So, for me, if he is suffering from that, send him back, or just don't play him and just allow him to train and just send him back home. If that's the case, but hopefully there's nothing. Hopefully it's just maybe recycled news in that aspect more than, again, it being a continuous problem.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Just looking at the schedule for Argentina as well, chat, they've got the big game, Argentina versus Colombia, because in regards to both standings, Kev, both Argentina are top of the World Cup, qualifiers. Obviously South American World Championship qualification. So they're on 18 points, Argentina, with 7 games played, and Colombia on 12 points with 6 games played anyway. So a big win for Colombia. Obviously, I think they beat Brazil and Argentina a couple of months back anyway. I'm pretty sure they got big results from them, Kev. But as already chat's alluding to, Teo, big up there, mate. He's sick of the internationals. We all are, mate.
I don't even want to talk about them, to be honest with you. They're useless. These unless there's full-on qualifiers, there's no point in having them. These bloody nation leagues and friendly matches. And why in the middle of a season would you have a friendly match? Wouldn't you have a couple of friendly matches in the summer when they're off season, just to keep their fitness level up? Just for where you do maybe a 2-week camp in the middle of the summer for the internationals and just give them a couple of friendlies. I don't understand, man.
We had a Copa America and a Euros.
But I mean, outside major tournaments, I don't understand it. Or even in the winter breaks or something like that. Make that the international.
Did you hear Bernardo Silva whinging like he always does, saying this week? I don't know what interview it was about, that he's complaining about the workload.
He's not wrong though. In that,
but it's true. Yeah, but it's how do you anticipate that to become in terms of going to this new season? The more football, not just on terms of Liverpool players, but for the overall benefit, really, in terms of all the players. Do you think we'll see? I think personally we'll see a lot more injuries and a lot more long-term injuries. Hopefully that is not the case, but
get rid of the March international break. Why do we have it in the first place? Again, if it's a World Cup qualifier, I can kind of understand to that degree of things. But as we know, even the Nations League, for this week, what benefit do you have from the Nations League? Can someone tell me in the chat?
I don't even get why was that? Well, money, but
it's so stupid. And again, if you want to promote youngsters, then make it an under-21 tournament or under-23 tournament in during the season. If that's what you want to do and if that's the aim for it, then go and do that. But at the end of the day, these players, they're already playing. You look at Liverpool, you look at City over the years, playing 50-60 odd games. That's without the internationals included in that. And again, if you're asking,
added Champions League as well this season, and added 4 more games in the group stages, really. But
it's ridiculous. But again, it's all about money and all about that side of the game. Again, look at how Jurgen Klopp was shut down by rival fans over years and years about how him whinging about games, whinging about player welfare. Imagine that, innit? I'm a human being being concerned about other human beings.
Yeah, there should be a mini tournament though, Kev. Oh, you're on mute there.
No, it says, shut up, Jurgen, being right about players.
Oh,
getting injured. Jesus.
And big up to Jürgen, new Borussia Dortmund manager. There we go. It's all right. He's not really the official. It's a charity friendly game, Connor, is it? And Borussia Dortmund.
He's the club legends.
Yeah,
actually, no. I don't think it is legend. I think it's someone's testimonial. I don't know who it is though.
Yeah.
So
Marco Rice.
No, it's not Rice.
No. But we'll check it out anyway. Chat. Let us know what that game is in regards. But a lot of the Borussia Dortmund fans were made up seeing him in a Borussia Dortmund top, and rightly so. 2-time winner of the Bundesliga, and obviously a Premier League winner as well. So, but yeah, it's good to see. Is it Nuri Sahin, the manager now at Borussia Dortmund? Yeah, obviously there was a time that he spent 6 months on Liverpool. At the time, Kev, when he comes to Liverpool,
hopes for him.
Yeah, it was just mad, but it was just timing, really, wasn't it? Sadly.
Yeah, I know he was a good player, man, and he was well sought after in most of the planet. To be honest with you, he was a great player. I don't know what happened. We only just got him on a loan. We didn't really buy him, so
Brennan Rodgers.
Yeah. So, but I mean, yeah, that was budget days, as they say. But yeah, no, look, great player. Went on to do good things at Dortmund, but he wasn't anything flash or outstanding, but he had potential at the time. So it just didn't work out for him at Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh, big up there, Callum. He's saying
Piszczek and Kuba.
As well. Yeah. Piszczek, what a player he was. Obviously, I think the right back. Anyway, but going forwards, we'll quickly get to everyone's comments as well. Big up there, Lee. Massive thank you. If you haven't already done so, do drop a like on the video as well. He's absolutely smashed the likes last night. Let's do it again, Neds. And club football is proper business of the sport. We pay for and train the lads as well. Yeah, it's just mad, really. The physical fitness that all the athletes really within football, it's crazy. Hi guys, we can keep one of our contract players. We're keeping them all, John. They are all signing.
They'll all stay.
They've already signed on dotted line, just waiting official confirmation from.
Yeah, Salah's got a bumper deal. Doesn't need to keep him there until the end of his career, and there'll be something where he'll go to the MLS or Saudi League at the end when he gets to the last year of his contract.
He won't do this. He'll retire at Liverpool. I was watching the Gerrard interview he done 2 years ago today. Obviously, him and Gerrard sitting down and waxing lyrical, and it was interesting that Salah's record against the Ev, it's not as Manchester United, but Salah saying, Connor, that he does struggle at Goodison, mainly due to obviously the ferocious atmosphere. It's a lot more. Obviously, he says United, Old Trafford is a playground for him now in terms of just what he can do with a football. But yeah, hopefully he can score a couple of goals. The last
in my head, I'm just going.
What did you think about that interview as well?
It could be worse. It could be the fact that Man United fans still think he's not world class, which again, that debate we can talk about all day long. But no, I think he's right in that sense, isn't he? Like Everton, the Everton games, certainly under Klopp, they were very close, wasn't they? I think it was only maybe 1 or 2 games where we absolutely battered them. The only ones I can really think in my mind is the 1920 season, and I think the 21-22 season when we beat them by 5-2, something like that. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's that's a proper game, that you look forward to. All of us, we all look for the Merseyside derby. We all look for Man United away and home. That's Liverpool and Everton again. We see it as. It's not. It is a friendly derby in that sense, but it's also you want to beat the blue shites. When we get the
last season of Goodison, love. Let's make it a memorable one anyway.
But the thing is, Mo Salah, Mo Salah didn't score or assist for Liverpool for 2 years against Man United.
Yeah, that's what he said in that interview. He said he struggled, didn't he?
Yeah, and there's now what has he got? I think it's 15 goals, 9 assists since then. That's unbelievable from Mo Salah.
Yeah, and that's what's annoying, as Callum said there. We won twice in 10 seasons against Everton at Goodison Park. And yeah, sod them. But in terms of going to this new season, Kev, in Reds, obviously Arne Slot, the Liverpool Revolution, as I've titled it anyway, because it is. I think we will, at our maximum, we'll be collecting many of a trophy with this side anyway. I think the quality within the team is fundamentally so good. But even the potential players coming in and then potentially adding to this squad as well when one or two players do move on from the football club, I think the levels are just so high. There's not going to be that much of a drop-off this season. I think we're ready and raring to go. And it's just going to be interesting, I think, from my perspective, how teams, even add City to this equation as well, how they balance European football as well. Them, Arsenal. I think, that, as Conor alluded to before, the more football, but I still look at Arsenal's squad and they're fundamentally a lot more weaker in a lot more areas, mate. But how do you gauge in terms of Liverpool's progression this season? Obviously, we'd all like to win the league, but if you're being realistic, how far do you reckon we'll go? Do you reckon we'll go further than last year than we did?
Yeah, I think so. Regardless of a manager bounce or regardless of anything else, the football is silky. Always pending, injuries or bad injuries to multiple players at the same time. That's pretty much been a major hindrance for us in all of our seasons that we played poorly in the last 6 or 7, or just like had a drop off. Obviously, the season after, we won the league and we ended up dropping completely off a bit because of injuries, and then ended up coming back up and getting third at the end of it. We're capable of staying there. The drop off last season, the almost 2 times quad seasons that we almost had. It's there's I don't think there's going to be much of a drop off there. I'd like us really to concentrate on the league and the Champions League. I'd rather see the youths now for the cups, and look, if we get to the finals or whatever, then you can play the senior team and worry about it then. But I would rather see the fringe players really play those tournaments like all the time. I don't care who we're playing against. I don't care what if it's Liverpool v Manchester United, I don't care. I just want to see us protecting the senior players as much as possible now, going forward. Salah's always going to want to play it. He wants every opportunity to beat records. So, you're still going to have the fringe mixed with the elite, but you can really rest everybody that's injury prone. You can rest your, well, not injury prone, but susceptible that if we lose them, we're in danger. So you can rest your Mac Allister, you can rest your Virgils, you can rest your Canates, you can rest your Robertsons, you can rest your Trents, all of these guys. You can rest Alisson, for all of these games. Going forward, if we do that and we really, really spread the rotation throughout the squad, I think we'll do really, really well by the end of the season, because it's the drop-off and the fatigue that we have near the end of the season lately that's been the problem. But now that we've got a squad that's capable, Chiesa now can come in and do the job up front, giving lads rest. He can do it in the midfield. He can do the Mac Allister role almost, but just not as silky, not as passing, not as anchor. He won't do the anchor. He'll just run with the ball. But, at least there's a person in there that can really hold onto the ball and run with it.
Go ahead. I was going to say, Conor, I was going to get your input there, Con. What would you say in regards to what Kev said there in terms of going forwards? He's spot on, Kev, in what he said, but were you even paying attention, were you? I was
just looking at the chat. Sorry, I was looking at the chat.
Sorry, Kev. Carry on, lad. There we go.
I was reading the chat. Leave me alone. No, I was listening, but no, like Kev is right. I think, as the chat was saying as well, they can see a scenario of injuries proving, an interesting point in the season when, last season, we all said it, that Liverpool looked fatigued towards the back end of last season, and looked mentally drained. And that's probably the first time that when we've had our key players that we've looked like that, certainly under Jurgen Klopp. But I'm still convinced Liverpool will add in January as well. And we saw, certainly when we were going for the quadruple season as well, we've seen in that season what Luis Diaz did. Liverpool dropped 4 points in the second half of the Premier League season. That's, again, title winning form, but sadly we messed up at the start of the season. But again, we have not seen the best out of these players yet in Arne Slot's system. Again, we're 3 games in. Just remember that, Reds, because
looking at the
fixtures. The fixtures are favourable for us because we should be 15 points ahead, or we should be 15 points, out of 5 Premier League games. But the worst problem is we've also got Champions League interfering with that, and the League Cup
interfering,
building it up. It's a bounce.
John Henry's got the match revenue on every single Champions League game on his wall, going extra room on my yacht there, extra cinema room in my yacht there, lads. Sod the transfers. But yeah, no, it's going to be exciting now.
A buy lens with that.
Oh yeah, there we go. What is it, Con? How much is it? It's a win. It's like 2 million in it, something crazy in terms of Champions League.
3.5 mil.
That is a lot. That is a lot of money. I think was it the year we won the Champions League? We like our revenue
110 million or something. Like that.
Yeah. So
it's only Real Madrid who won it. Got more. But I think that was ever. I don't think any other. Because again, we only lost Inter Milan at home in the Champions League final that season.
Did we get beat by Red Star away?
No, not that season.
No,
that was
not that season. That's the season we won it.
Yeah.
We only won 3. Well, we won 3 home games. Then we lost all the away games.
That's mad.
In the group stage.
terrible form in the show. We barely made it.
Yeah. The Alisson save literally saved us. Saved Liverpool.
It was like 2005 all over again, except for with a better team. You know, it was nuts because in that we needed to get 2 goals over Olympiacos and they scored first. So it was nuts. Yeah.
Quickly on touching on that, so we did speak about it at the top of the show, as Connor alluded to before. He will be put aside in regards to obviously other training regime. Really, they'll see how it is really, but hopefully from our perspective, Liverpool have got on the blower and said, right, no, you're coming back.
You sent over a few heavies tapping a bat at the side of the pitch saying, "Don't hurt them."
Yeah. Look at Arne Slot, lads. Just looks like a proper scout star anyway. He's already integrated into Liverpool culture already. So it's Connor, you're going to get a slaphead, lad.
Am I going to get a slaphead?
Yeah.
No, I'm not following yours and Ricky's.
Lad, this is a lucky haircut, lad. We're winning the league, lad. And I keep on getting an haircut.
If we win the league this year, then fine. But
there we go. Sounds
clip that, Reds. Clip it.
Clip it if you want to clip it. Again, if Liverpool win the league, I'll be more than happy to do it. But
so yeah, Tony, and quickly on that one. So fingers crossed, it's fine from our perspective. He scored last night for Argentina against Chile. Big win for them, but I think considering their standings within that competitions table, there's a bit of leeway really. But they are playing Colombia, so I think he might play a bit part of it, really, depending on how it's just mainly fatigue, really, because he's played so many minutes. You'd like to hope the Argentina medical staff look at Mac Allister, think post that tournament to do qualifying top spot and go, yeah, we want to keep him fit for not just Liverpool, but in terms of their national sides progression into those tournaments as well. So, yeah. Fingers crossed. Big up there, Doug, as well. Evening. How are we, mates? Looking forward to seeing you, mate, in a couple of weeks. This goes back, if you remember the days of Steven Gerrard, when he was a bit confused and nearly left Chelsea. A clear strategy is firm. And yeah, Matthias, don't be worrying, mate. It's already done.
No.
Like, they're not leaving Liverpool Football Club. The deals are just pending official announcements, really, because why would you want to leave Liverpool? We live in a world now where, obviously, with X and everyone, if anyone's not got X accounts or whatnot, you literally get paid to like tweet. So everyone, and it includes, and I mean everyone, doesn't matter if you're a journalist or whatnot, you can literally get paid to tweet, right? And it's basically farming interactions, really, whatever you just say. A bit like social media as well on YouTube and Facebook and everything. It's all about getting the views in. So it's, don't be worrying, Matthias. They'll be
I'm also looking at the fixtures coming up, Jack, ahead. Yeah. And even if we were under Mr. Mac Allister or whatnot, I mean, we got Forest next, right? Then we got Milan away, which I could have actually gone. I was offered a ticket for that yesterday and I couldn't go because the missus is away working. Liverpool, Bournemouth. Then we have West Ham in the cup, right? So never mind that. That'll be the kids. Wolves away, Bologna at home, right? Leipzig away. I'm skipping ahead. Crystal Palace away, right? But Chelsea, the only thing I can see, right? So Chelsea, then Leipzig, and then when we get to Arsenal on the 27th of October is the next big game that I think that we're going to have to. I know Chelsea are there and they're kind of improving, whatever. We're at Anfield. We can do Chelsea over regardless of that. I think even though they're improving, I think they're more open out the back. So, it's they might attack more, but that only just plays into Liverpool's hands.
It's that mentality, though, Kev, and Con and Chat Overs. I think, obviously, already he's been in there for 3 professional games and his technical staff, but I just love his demeanour on the touchline. He's no nonsense. Like, really, like, for like the way you analysed Eric Ten Hag as well, though, Connor. I don't know if you've seen. I watched it. Go and check out the Inside Old Trafford video this week, and it's quite good. As we know, there was a lady that told Salah to put some shoes on. I'm like, hang on. He owns Old Trafford. He scores hat-tricks at Old Trafford.
She's on Liverpool's.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
That's right. I thought she was a Manchester United. But there we go.
No, but like you are right in the sense of, again, Ten Hag. Arne Slot is his own person. You know, we've seen that already. You know, he's not trying to replicate Jurgen Klopp in that sense. And I think Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher spoke about it. I think it was on the Overlap podcast that they do, and I think Carragher said it in terms of, again, he's come in and done his own thing. Like it's not, again, the football is similar, and it is, because what we've seen so far is, of course, you know, is similar but a lot more patient. But it's also his demeanor as well. Again, him coming out on Sky Sports and basically, well, what's the right word? Destroying Ten Hag's tactics within 2 minutes.
He was listening to tactics, lads, like for all like the other future teams to play against Ten Hag.
Yes, but like you would never have Jurgen Klopp like do this. And again, I'm fine with him doing it against Manchester United and after we've won. But there's also that sense of, as well as, like, don't release too much of what you
keep it in house.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, we know what we're capable of. It's only the second away game we've had. There's going to be tough games where you're away to Arsenal, you're away to City. Like, these games is the most important games of the season. Where we've all said it, if you can beat Man City and you're going for the title, it's most likely you're going to go far in the title race.
It's a great point you raised there, Con, and that's you, Kevin, chat. Like this year, not it's a free hit, but I think, as Connor's alluded to there, Kev, this is, for all the other managers and other teams out there in the Premier League, it's a realm of, they don't really know how he plays, and especially at Liverpool as well, they don't understand the tactics. So I think it won't be a surprise season, but if you want to go out and compete for the league, Champions League, I think we could. There's realms of, there's no limits to this Liverpool team this season, I'd say, because it's a free hit. Well, not a free hit, but I think we can surprise a lot of teams, and from a tactical sense as well. Yeah. It just leaves with so many opportunities, as Connor's alluded to there. It's exciting.
But you have to look at the team and what they've been doing differently. Every single game, you might think some things are similar or the same, but every single game we played something different. Like Trent Alexander-Arnold played 3 different ways in the first 3 games. In comparison, so he shows that Arne Slot is doing his homework on the opposition that he's playing against and who the danger men are and whatnot. He was stuck to Rashford. Rashford barely got any room, I think 2 or 3 times in the whole game, and even if he did, he was wasteful. So I think the one time he got the ball into the box was the Xerxes chance, and Trent was only tracking back at that stage. Not watching, was a counter-attack long ball. So, and also with the difference with the team as well is that, if you compare it to Liverpool to United last week, United are very, even if they do play off in the back, it's always very static, and there's no, it's always to the same movements, the same everything. Whereas Liverpool could play off in the back, and all of a sudden Virgil van Dijk could hit a 40 ball. Trent can hit it across the pitch. Robertson can if he wanted to, and all of a sudden we have different means and angles to play a ball. I think nobody's going to kind of suss Slot's tactics out, because he's playing differently every game. He's playing to what the opposition are doing, and then he changes the tactics. I think he drills into the players 3 or 4 different ways to play a game when they're coming up to an opponent, and then he'll just say like 1, 2, 3 or 4 you're going to play that way. So we're hitting 2 at the moment because they're after changing the formation to this, bang, and we'll change. And it's refreshing to see in the Liverpool team that we're able to change to counter our opponent. And this is just because he wants to keep more of the ball or control of the ball rather than just keep more of the ball, which is great.
Yeah, big up there, Edwards. Try our best, mate. Obviously, sometimes life does catch up with you in terms of obviously doing the live streams, but we try and aim for that, mate. 97% of the time. Yeah, Connor from the Cop Council, he's live every night, majority of it throughout the week. on 9 p.m. So make sure you head over. The links to it, and anyone new tuning in are all in the description as well. Please do head over to Kev's channel as well, Spider LFC. Obviously, watch-alongs as well. We do cover, but we try our best to create a great community of the Liverpool fans. You are allowed to have your own opinions as well, as long as it's structured as well, like in terms of you're respectful and everyone's sound with each other. But we've got a very good group in the comments most nights as well. So really do appreciate everyone, even on the VPs as well. Don't always have to jump on the lives, just get in the comments and we'll reply to you, and just trying to build not just on my channel but Connor's and Kev's socials as well. So yeah, you are live.
We did.
Yeah, I'm live.
Yeah, there we go.
We didn't do any comment things today, did we? Can't remember. No, we didn't.
Which?
No, we didn't.
Any which?
We didn't do any we didn't review any comments today, did we?
Comment.
What?
We didn't review any comment.
I beg your pardon.
I thought I missed that.
Yeah, no, it's nice. Rewatch that clip back there, Kev. There we go.
Comment section.
No, but there wasn't a lot of comments on yesterday's show anyway. Huge on the post matches, everyone. That's gone over his head there, Corin. Yeah, there we go. Are you on every day? Yes, big up there as well. Memes is gone. They are finished, mate. They are finished. In terms of Jen, they'll be all boxed off, really, mate. I hope you're well. But in terms of, as we spoke about the revolution, in terms of, just quickly touching on the point of Alisson as well. We were speaking before, you lads there, in terms of integrating his vision in terms of Alisson Becker. We haven't seen fully. We have seen in terms of the long ball forward certain elements within the first 3 games, but Kev, how do you anticipate in regards to obviously Alisson adapting to this style of football? It's interesting, and it's always interesting in terms of the centre half splitting and then Trent coming inside. There's a lot of rotations, but I am intrigued in terms of going forward as well. The style in which Arne Slot wants to be getting Alisson Becker to be playing as well, because we know how good he is in terms of not just saving, doing his job, but in terms of how he reads the game as well. I think that's to say on the other side that Alisson Becker, obviously, he is the best goalkeeper in world football for me. But in terms of analysing that, though, Kev, how do you want Alisson technically?
I don't think he's going to change much. I think, if anything, we've dropped back a bit deeper, which helps him. Instead of playing the high line under Jurgen, we're dropped back a bit deeper, and Gravenberch and even the midfield itself is dropped back until the transition moves forward. But no, I don't. If he's still playing the same game, he's still looking for Salah for the long balls. He's still punching the ball out. He's still even if anything, because the line is dropped deeper. If somebody tries to pass through that line and they do get through, he's on top of them straight away, which means he's got a shorter distance to run this time and less space to cover, which is brilliant for Alisson. So Alisson will just do Alisson things. He'll pop up when he's needed. He'll shot stop 2 or 3 times a game when you think it's going to be a definite goal. I mean, how many times has Alisson made a mistake and it's gone in, and then everybody's kind of like, that's the plan, and then they realise 10 seconds later, hang on, he saves us about 40 times a game sometimes there when we're having a bad season.
But when those errors have happened in the past, it's only a small section, but like the human, I'm like, mate, as you said there, Kev, it's Alisson Becker. But I think that is, we do have throwbacks to when we had Mignolet and obviously the dross that we've had.
Mister, I get beaten on my front post every weekend. If anybody just ran in near the near post, Mignolet, he was a brilliant penalty saver. Yeah. He couldn't catch a ball or punch a ball to save his life, but he could shot stop as long as it was within the radius of his arms. And but he couldn't stop a goal going in his near post. And I'm going to talk about Karius, and poor Bogdan, punches into his own goal, most of the time. So, this is what we had to put up with in the previous years, since Pepe Reina, really. And he wasn't the tallest of goalkeepers either. He was a small guy. He was almost like a groveler in a way. He wasn't a tall goalkeeper, but he was a really good goalkeeper. Still wasn't made some great penalty saves, but wasn't known for his penalty saves. But Alisson, that's probably Alisson's weakest part, is his penalty saves out of all of his game. But he doesn't really have to face them that often. So and even at that, he's saved a few in his time. So if that's the weakest part of his game and he's still saving some, I don't know what to say. We're clutching. We're looking for something bad, but there's none. There's absolutely nothing. There's nothing wrong with him.
Yeah,
Alisson Becker.
Big up there, Con. Curtis Jones as well, chat. We'll get to all your comments as well. Keep on getting them in, chat. We can see them. Curtis Jones, Con. From that grimace already, I know your views on Curtis. Might make Kate, well, not with the green screen, but I've got my green screen now, but I did have a...
I thought you were going to bring him out then. It was just like, my mate Curtis this year.
If it was that properly prepared, usually. But yeah, big, massive Curtis Jones graph of all the great points and obviously possible weaknesses of his game as well. But I am extremely positive, probably too much positive, but you know me, Kev, Connor, chat, if you view of me over the years. This lad's under Arne Slot. I think in terms of the development already we've seen from Ryan Gravenberch, in terms of his position with it, like in terms of how he's developed, I think Curtis Jones will be 6 months' time. I think we could be having the same conversations in regards to what we were with Ryan Gravenberch as well. Hopefully.
Well, hopefully. And again, look, we've had many debates about Curtis Jones. And look, I personally don't think Curtis Jones... it can be relied on personally. Like, I think you look at even now, like injuries, like again, he's been the only Liverpool player to get injuries. And again, can you really blame anybody for getting injuries? Not really.
Injuries are part and parcel of football, though.
Yeah, but
he gets a lot of them though.
Yeah, it's like the little ones. Like, again, you're already having from the Liverpool camp that he's looking like he's going to be fit for the return of the Premier League, and you're like, but again, and this is the whole thing about pre-season. Pre-season, he was in the double pivot for Arne Slot. He was the first, alongside with Endo. Of course, we didn't have everyone back fully fit then, but the major thing I have with Curtis Jones is we keep on saying that he will be, he'll prove us wrong. He'll get better and he'll get better and he'll get better. When we've seen with players in
5 years
in particular, when we've seen players in the past, me and you, we've had debates with Dom Szoboszlai. I think Dom Szoboszlai under Arne Slot will go to that next level.
His levels of we've brought in
Curtis Jones.
No, but I don't get this notion. I don't know if it's Ricky or Luke anyway, but it's just a comment that you just see on Twitter, lads. Just typical.
But the thing is, Curtis Jones has to prove people wrong.
Yeah, but we're judging him from the time at Jurgen Klopp, though, lads.
Yeah, but the problem is he's going to be playing it a lot deeper for Liverpool. Like, again, Curtis Jones is a 10. He's not a 6. He's not an 8, but he's more of an 8 than anything. But he's going to be playing a lot deeper now. He did go full
Hendo in the last season or so. He was passing back an awful lot. His accuracy of passing was brilliant, but it was going backwards.
But it's not even the thing is the major problem for me with Curtis Jones. You've already seen it already with Mac Allister and Ryan Gravenberch. They're technically very, very smart, and again, they know when to let go and they know when to again carry the ball. Curtis Jones always, and this has been the biggest problem with Curtis Jones, even under Jurgen, was he's taking way too long with the ball.
Yeah, but I think that
the decision's taking way too long.
That stems from a tactical input from the manager, though, mate.
I don't think that is tactical. I think that's player
playing him left wing in certain games and advanced 10 going forward as well. I think for me, and he will prove people wrong as well, and I will continue to stand on.
I hope he does prove people wrong. I hope he does become the second coming of Zinedine Zidane. But
no chance. Jesus Christ, Gerrard was on that mountain with Zidane for 1 or 2 years. They're the levels. Yeah.
His eye injury was the longest injury he ever had at 61 days.
No, but like as Connor said there, though, Kev, Connor's he's not that really intelligent as a footballer in terms of, but I think he
is intelligent.
He's naturally gifted. He is naturally gifted as a footballer.
It takes way too long. That's the one bit of his game where he hasn't improved.
I actually give him props in the last couple of seasons that he actually improved on that, because I used to give out about him 2 seasons ago. I used to be on him all the time, saying, release the ball, Jones. Even when I'm doing my live streams, all you'd hear on me for about 5 to 10 times in a match was, Jones, release the ball earlier. Please release the ball. No, release it. And then we'd lose possession or something would happen. And that was his biggest faux pas. But in recent times under Klopp, he's kind of developed where he's laying it off. He's doing a lot more passing. His passing accuracy's gone up. But a lot of it's going back. Can you remember any progressive passes where he's actually cutting through a defence, or where he's playing it into Nunez's feet or Salah's? Or I hope that he does.
I think he's going to be absolutely exceptional.
I hope he does.
If I could speak to Jones, I'd just like, lad, just prove everyone within our fan base absolutely wrong.
The other thing is, though, with Curtis Jones is, like, again, when we hope that you can get up to that, again, when we speak about Alexis Mac Allister and his workload, like, again, he needs to be on that level. Because, again, like we know Arne Slot, and we've seen this already, he's not one to nurture a player for, again, he'll nurture the player to improve. But if that player shows no improvement, he will get rid of you. Like, and he's not that, like, he's not a Jurgen Klopp that's like, oh, you know, I'll put my arm around you and cuddle you, or, you know, and try and make you improve. Again, Arne Slot will do that, but again, if he's already showing that he's not going to improve in this certain area, and Slot looks at someone else in the market and goes, he's the guy that's going to make this team better. Again, I don't think he's going to hang around in that aspect things, because so again, when we speak about maybe a make or break year for Curtis Jones, it might be a make or break year.
But what does the fan base want, lads? He's not going to bang in an hat-trick every single week, lad.
No, but it's top performances. You want him to do again,
but you're not going to get that with injuries, though. Like
exactly. So if he's injured, he's not going to be in the plans, because again, Alexis Mac Allister. Again, not one pundit has gone on about Alexis Mac Allister so far this season. But Mac Allister, for me, has had very, very underrated performances. Everyone's gone on about Szoboszlai and Ryan Gravenberch. Mac Allister has been the unknown midfielder, but he's been outstanding. And Curtis Jones has to.
He was the same. He was the same at Brighton under Caicedo. Everybody was raving about Caicedo, but Caicedo was Caicedo because he had Mac Allister next to him, and that's you know, Mac Allister improves everybody around him. He does.
I think he's just massively the biggest scapegoat in our fan base, really, Curtis Jones, in terms of just people to just give stick to him, really. Like, literally, if the lads had a 10 out of 10 performance, he'd still be getting slack of sections of his fan base as well. But
he's brilliant performance against Spurs last. It was a season before last, and there's a couple of great performances from Curtis Jones. The problem is he doing enough? What's the deal with these? Is his stats enough? Like, if you look at his stats aren't enough. He can have all the passing in the world that goes backwards, but there's no progressive passes and there's no kind of like assists.
What Liverpool are doing now, in terms of isolating what you've just said there. Sorry, there, Con. Liverpool now need to keep the ball under Arne Slot, and we've already seen that 3 weeks in now. He could be that perfect player in terms of in those tight pockets of space. He's got that ability to get away from players. For me, I think he's one of the most ideal Arne Slot players. And we've said rotation of players. Mac Allister will get injured this season. Gravenberch, there will be opportunities for Jones, but it's I do agree in terms of where everyone's saying.
Can I call out one thing, Jack? If I can just show, just in general, just for the position that he plays on the left-hand side. But if you go from 22-23 and 23-24, so 23-24, he played 23 matches, he got 1 goal and 1 assist. Right, so if he played 18 matches in 22-23, he got 3 goals and 1 assist. 15 the year before, 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 and 2, and then 1 and 0. The numbers haven't been high enough, and I know he's been given a lot of time on the top.
Compare and contrast that with the other midfielders in that team, no, lads.
The thing is, I don't think people should care about numbers necessarily. Because again, look at one of the best midfielders we had under Jurgen Klopp was Gini Wijnaldum. Gini Wijnaldum, statistically, should be in the conversation. Yeah, wasn't a numbers guy. Wasn't someone that you look on stats and statistics and go, "Oh, that's the guy being Liverpool's best midfielder." Like, what do you mean? But again, that's not what we want. Again, the eye test, when we look at it and go, "Oh, you know, Curtis Jones had a really, really good performance." That's what we want, and we want. And again, we can't say anything yet on this season because again, he hasn't had game time. You know, he hasn't proved himself in that aspect of things. But once he does come into the team, and if there isn't an improvement, or again, if the quality drops off, then again, like I said, there must be a sign for them from Arne Slot going, maybe we need to upgrade in that aspect of things. Because again, like we said, Arne Slot's not going to be this guy that's going to come in and cuddle you. You know, he's going to be the guy.
The question you've asked yourself
he's going to get the best out of players, though. Like,
the question you've asked yourself is, if Mac Allister gets injured and somebody comes into that team, does Elliott get picked before Jones on that side?
No, because that's not the position he plays.
He's played on many a time. He played left and right.
He's a 10 though, isn't he? Like this new system though, he's a 10. Like I don't want him playing in the double pivot. Like you can again, I think Dom Szoboszlai will play more deeper if that's the case than
Dom Szoboszlai because he wanted to counter United last week. He started Dom Szoboszlai in the left because he sees that as the higher position to drift into the number 10 role. So if that's the case, and he's going to play Dom Szoboszlai back on his natural right, then if you're saying it's going to be kind of like a 10 role, then Harvey Elliott's more equipped to play in that role on the top left than what if going by the way he played against United and going by the way he played against the last three teams. Szoboszlai would start out on the left and kind of drift in wherever he wanted and then across the middle. I'm just saying that it's a big season for Curtis Jones. It's probably the biggest
for a lot of players season, though, in that team. Like I think everyone and Harvey Elliott as well. I think we've done many. But the thing is, obviously, everyone's entitled to what they think about Curtis, but we've been on YouTube for 8 years. It's been the same thing. The thing is, with Jurgen Klopp, and we've already seen, and I will say, Arne Slot already had 3 competitive games. But what we've all seen from a technical point of view, he's improved. And the one thing he said about all the players in pre-season, he said he needs to drill out of all the players that used to play under Jurgen. They're looking for that long ball. Curtis Jones, not just Curtis Jones, but players in that team for the best part of the last 2-3 years, the back end of Klopp's tenure, the team were just losing the ball and then just getting absolutely obliterated at the back from the wide areas, from the central areas. We were getting absolutely dominated on the counter-attack. And now there's a lot more structure to Liverpool's game. I think when you look at, I know, obviously from an international stadium point of view as well, the young lad Gomez, obviously that's just been called up, I think, from Lee Carsley. Him and Jones were absolutely pivotal in that pivot for England when they did win, it was the under-21 tournament, whatever it was, Euros or World Cup. I think going forward, we will see Curtis Jones in the England international setup in the next 12 months. And people might go, what? But if Lee Carsley gets the full-time job, I'm telling you now, Curtis Jones will be one of the main names in that England team.
I hope he does.
For Liverpool as well.
I hope he does. It's just that he hasn't done it yet, even at his peak, and it's just he's still coming to his peak, I think. But would he get that opportunity under Slot? I don't know. You add Chiesa into the mix, and he could be picked on that left hand side as well, just as easier if he wanted to really go all out attack against a team that's weaker. I think you'd want your Mac Allister's fit for your Champions League games, for the one, especially the ones that are coming up in the next few weeks. There's AC Milan away and Bologna and all of that, but you've also got the cup games that you could ease Mac Allister back into.
It's this I don't know, like as a fan base, I think everyone's
it's going to be hard for Curtis. It will be.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think sections of this fan base just love to just jump on a player. You can like, even if he has a good game, they'll still have a go. It was Ginny, it was Hendo, it was other players within the team. We get it if you don't support a player, but the most important thing is your back. The badge, most importantly, and whatever player as well, you might think about playing.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I think everybody out there, Jack, supports every.
Go on.
I think everybody in the team.
Badge. I just thought of like when people get like the River Island badge out. Like, sorry, like in my head, I just had that in my head.
I haven't got. There's no brand in there.
I don't think anybody. I think after the games they might slay them, whatever. But I think everybody supports them while they're wearing the jersey on the pitch and they're doing their best. But I mean, I've seen Curtis Jones have brilliant games, and I've seen him have stinkers. I've seen Harvey Elliott have brilliant games, and I've seen him have stinkers. I've seen him all, but it's just that because he's there longer.
I think Curtis Jones gets the worst. Like from doing YouTube for years, he gets the worst amount of stick out there. Like
just because the numbers don't add up.
Gini Wijnaldum's last year.
No, but people, but that was again like Fabinho as well. Like that was down to Jurgen Klopp. That was down to the club not facilitating or bringing in players to allow Fabinho to get an extra 2 years, to allow Ginny to get an extra recovery time. Because Jurgen Klopp ran the majority of that team into the bloody ground. He did. Look at Mane. He's in the Saudi League now. He's not even half the player he was, and yet Mane lost a bit the last 12 months of his Liverpool career. But we know why that was. We know exactly. And if Jurgen Klopp was still in charge, Van Dijk would have been ran into the ground 2 years previously. His game would have completely gone out the window as well. And certain other players in that Liverpool team as well. So
the thing is like we all want, like, again, and you are right in the sense, again, we want every single Liverpool player to succeed. Like that's the major, that's the number one thing. And again, I think you can be again, like even my comments, you can be openly critical of players, but again, you can be that sense of like, oh, you want them to do better and be better for the team. Because again, if you have a full midfield that is at the top level, again, you're going to be at the top of the league or near enough it towards the end of the season. And again, that's something where, again, we've not seen Curtis Jones under Arne Slot. We can't really judge him yet under that. But again, we've not seen rotation yet under Slot. And that's the something that I think we're all intrigued by, I should say, is how Slot rotates his team. Again, we've got big games coming up in terms of the Champions League, League Cup, the Premier League, and we've barely seen Darwin Núñez, we've barely seen Cody Gakpo, we've not seen Harvey Elliott at all, we've not seen Joel Konza, well, apart from the 45 minutes at Ipswich. Again, we haven't seen him yet introduce Conor Bradley starting the game. You know, these players that are going to come in, we've not seen Wataru Endo all season long. So that's the thing for me, especially under Slot, is okay, our first team looks really, really good. But what's our reserve team looking like? Is our reserve team up to the same level as what the first team has produced so far this season? Because if it is, then that's really exciting. But again, it will be interesting to see the drop off in terms of the style as well. Because again, let's admit it, Wataru Endo isn't the same as a Ryan Gravenberch in the six. You know, again, he's more of a Klopp style six than an Arne Slot type six. Yeah. So how will that fare with the way we play? That's what I'm more intrigued by, not by individual, like certain individual players and going like they're the problem. And I think that's okay to look at as well. But I think when we see if things don't work out right, like again, if we see Wataru Endo, for example, playing in the six and we can quite clearly see he's not right, then maybe even in this next summer, we then go, okay, maybe it is maybe time to look at somebody else, or maybe Endo may look at it and go, I want to maybe go to a team where I'm going to be number one in that sense as well. But you want everyone to succeed, you know, and that's, if you don't want that, then why do you support the club? Like that's,
I think Endo could go in January if we're going after another midfield player. I think you could see Endo going in January, and we'll just get the money off a Premier League side or something from, or he'll end up in Portugal or something like that. But yeah, look, I want to see all these lads doing it. I mean, Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones are Liverpool fans. The only difference is that from their positions, which is more like, if you think of it when they come on the pitch, more like a left attacking midfielder and right attacking midfielder, they need to produce more assists and more, you know, and more critical passing, and more true passing, but they just don't, and they kind of tick the boxes for ticking over and keeping possession and doing whatever. But we can't rely on Mac Allister to be playing through balls, and we can't rely on.
He's not going to be playing 50 games this season. Yeah. And this way I said, it's the evolution of Liverpool in terms of under Arne Slot. The role of any top head coach or manager at any football club is predominantly, obviously, you can bring in players as well, but it's getting the maximum out of players, as you alluded to, Curtis Jones, Elliott, other players Conor alluded to there as well. And of course, we want to be seeing, and this is why I want Curtis to thrive so much.
So do we.
Like, I think we all do, because I think he certainly could complement Liverpool, and it gives every opportunity for Liverpool to be a lot more successful going forward as well. Even Conor Bradley, obviously, but it's all about opportunities. As Conor and you lads have said, Arne Slot is ruefulness in terms of...
when we talk about rotation as well, by the way, did anybody see Conor Bradley last night playing the number 10 for Northern Ireland?
No. Was he?
He's playing midfield.
Duke could play anywhere, man, Eddie.
There we go. So deep line number 6, happy days. You never know. It's Arne Slot, boy. He's only been there for 3 weeks, and he's turned Conor Bradley into...
I think he's not alone. I think he could be a possible another James Milner, because I remember James Milner playing wing backs and wings, and then in his earlier career, and you know, and then playing through the middle of it. It's only in his latter career that he played like kind of in the middle of the park. I think if you can develop Conor Bradley, he won't be stuck in the right back for too long. I think he'll become a very good utility player.
Or is it OG, Aston Villa midfield, James Milner, Gareth Barry, and Petrov? Like they were Premier League years.
Yeah.
Well, Aston Villa had like Downing and Ashley Young on the wings as well.
He was a winger. He was a winger at Leeds and at Newcastle, and then he was a wing back there as well. And it's nuts.
That why is Martin O'Neill no longer like a manager? Is he still a manager of international teams? His wife got very sick. No.
For a while, and he's been constantly looking after her really since the Irish job. Really, yeah.
It's a shame. I really did rate him as a manager as well.
Yeah, I met him. He's a lovely man. Yeah.
He speaks really well. Obviously, the need of Arsene Wenger, him, Martin O'Neill as well. Back when the Ev were competing for Europe, nearly. As well under David Moyes.
John Gregory, where did he go to? Remember, he was brilliant at Aston Villa for a while. He had them for a long while, didn't he? It's probably before your time, I think.
Yes,
yeah.
So, in terms of evolution in regards to Connor, can you think of other players? Spoke about Alisson from a technical point of view, defensively as Carragher. Go and check out the interview they done on the Overlap. I think they're doing a tour in Barcelona currently for Sky. Go and check it out. A very good interview. I think that's what Connor was alluding to at the top of the show as well. And Carragher just said, just more or less relayed what we've all been thinking as Liverpool fans, that there's a lot more structure. I think everyone's like, oh, Liverpool have become much better, but we've kept it basic, really. We're not losing the ball stupidly 20 yards.
The talent's already there, just needs to be honed in a bit. And Slot has changed his tactics to say he wants to control the ball more, but it doesn't look. He's got a good style. He's got a good style as Slot. It's kind of it's hard to read for oppositions. Whereas Slot knows what the teams are about to do, so he tells the lads when they need to step here and when they didn't. Just look at the Gravenberch interception for Casemiro. Everybody was giving out about Casemiro's bad pass, but he was playing it to that winger, and he knew that he could bypass Mac Allister straight away. But he didn't see that Gravenberch was watching because he was told by Slot beforehand, Casemiro likes to play this ball out to Marcus Rashford, watch it, and then nip in and take it. Nips in, takes it, and it's a goal. You know, it's great to watch.
The thing is, we've all said this, haven't we, since the Manchester United game. It's like Arne Slot broke Ten Hag's tactics down, and that's tactics of 3 years, under Ten Hag. And he's already said it, like Manchester United are not playing the same way as what they did last year. And when people were saying, like, I'm comparing Ten Hag with Slot's come into Liverpool. There's already an identity under Arne Slot with Liverpool. Again, we're 3 years in at Manchester United under Erik Ten Hag, and I cannot tell you Manchester United's identity in that team. Like, again, it just feels like he makes up things weekly just to survive in that job. But it's
won 2 trophies.
No,
I'm the second best.
Don't start that. That's honest to God. Like him
it's the most horrible.
Apart from Man City, we are the second. We're the most successful teams. Like, no, you're not. Like you've you lost the most amount of games in a league season with Manchester United. That's the type of records he's breaking.
It's like when rival fans try and demean Jurgen Klopp's tenure at the club. It's like, but he didn't win. Hang on, mate. Where was your football club? I spoke about that last night.
Yeah.
I was like, where was your football club?
But it's like they compare like Ten Hag, like, Ten Hag had a more difficult start than, like, for example, like what Arne Slot's got. Sure, Arne Slot's got Mo Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson Becker. Sure, like he's had a really, really good team. Let's not act like Erik Ten Hag's not got his own players. And that's the major takeaway, like, from Sunday, that like all the United fans are banging on about it. Like, oh, we've not got this, we've not got that. I'm sorry, if you go through your team, apart from maybe one or two, like, all those players are Erik Ten Hag players. Like,
693 million he spent.
Yeah,
instead of spending all that on players, spend it on fixing your roof, please. There we go.
Well, they could have done that, but instead they signed an absolute dross from Ajax. Well, we got the best from Ajax in terms of Ryan Gravenberch.
That's the whole point when you think of it. He bought 10 players from Ajax, and the one player he missed out from a full team is the guy that's playing the World.
He did want him, didn't he? But then apparently he told Ten Hag, no, I'm going to Liverpool to play for Jurgen Klopp. So good.
Yeah, there's a big up there, lads, as well. Big up there, Nigel. We have a lot more leaders, lads. Look at their captain. But yeah, it's the levels. Roy Keane.
I'll tell you this now. Manchester United fans hate their own captain, but they have to love him in public. They hate their own captain. They think he's dire. They don't think he's a man at all as a captain, Bruno Fernandes. And I think secretly they hate him, but they support him on the thing because just how he acts on the pitch. He does some special things once or twice, but that's it.
The thing is, though, Kev, it's like, out to that United squad, the squad, how many of them get in Liverpool's squad? Not first 11, but the squad. Like, I wouldn't want any of them in the squad. And that's like, growing up, like, I hated.
You can literally. I'd even pick O'Shea and like Wes Brown. It still would have done a job for Liverpool back in the day.
Like, we grew up in an age where Manchester United were the best team in the world.
Dominating.
at times. And like again, and there's no hiding around it. Again, we absolutely hate that fact, but they were the best team in the world apart from Barcelona. And now when you look at how bad that team is, and it's not only just the team, it's the whole club. Like the whole Manchester United club itself is rotten to the core, and there's no fixing that. Like again, people go, oh well, under this new regime, Man United will be back at the top within 5 to 10 years. No, they won't, because the teams like Liverpool, like City, like Arsenal, they'll get another level before they even just reach the current level.
Lads, I have a thing for you, right? I wrote a post on Facebook, which I still have up there, in the summer of 2013, right? And I said, Fergie leaving this club, I said Manchester United won't win another title or a Champions League or a major honour like that of that ilk. I said for the next 15 years. I said it like straight. I called it, and this is in 2013. And I'll have to throw it up here. I'll find it, Jack, and I'll throw it up here on one of the next shows. And I'll show. I did a big long paragraph explaining why and how that even explained about the stadium, explained about how it's going down, how now the money is going to start changing, where they're going to spend big to save taxes, put themselves in huge debt so that they can hide money, taking money out. Everything was involved in it, man. I could see it coming a mile away, and I wrote about it in 2013. What was going to happen to Manchester United, and at that stage, they just won the league.
Yeah, it's how the mighty have fallen as well. Like this is why it's just crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Their future manager. The thing is, their fan base, they're not patient. Like you look at the patient fans or the structure from Arsenal. Like I think Arteta will eventually win the league. But I think it still will be another 5 years until Arsenal do win the league. But it's whether Arsenal fans or the club will allow Arteta to have that time as well. Because I know I sometimes joke about Arsenal, but they are on the right track. I think they need to bring in probably another 5, 6 elite level players in terms of winning a league title for me.
But they're another one. They have to win something this year.
Need to.
Like you can't be spending the money that they've spent and not do anything. And people, Arsenal fans might go, oh well, you haven't won anything, since the Carabao Cups and this and the other. But at the end of the day, Liverpool have looked more competitive than Arsenal, and Liverpool haven't spent anywhere near the amount Arsenal have spent in that time. And it's like, again, they backed themselves again. They've got Sterling, they've got Calaflori, they've got the midfielder. I know he's currently out injured, but they got what they needed in the summer. And again, Arsenal fans might agree or disagree with that, but they should be near enough. They should be doing better than us this year.
I still think Arsenal are a while off it, though, mate. I think Martinelli will leave in the next 12 months. I think was it the game before the international break. It was absolutely horrendous. Trossard come on and just changed the game. I still think they lack a striker. DM Thomas Partey does a job, but in terms of when there was the year before last that title running, I don't think he offers enough on a football pitch to grab the game by a scruff of the neck. I still think Odegaard, for all of his brilliance, and he's a very talented footballer, I still think he's still inconsistent to really be in that bracket. Well, he's not even half the player that Kevin De Bruyne is. How many times Kevin De Bruyne, he played for Man City, but he was literally, I know his legs have kind of dropped off, but if you just get him in a 6-yard area, ping a ball, 25, his brain's still there. But
the other thing is though, like Arsenal, but Arsenal have done that though as well. They haven't, like, I can't, like, people go, oh, Saliba's better than Van Dijk, Odegaard's better than this. But if you were to combine both City and Liverpool's team, you wouldn't get an Arsenal player in that. And that's, I think everyone would agree with that, more or less. Again, it's like Saliba, like, again, I think when we're speaking about centre-halves, I think he is the next down to Virgil van Dijk. But again, he's nowhere near Van Dijk's level. Like, again, look how comfortable Van Dijk looked against Manchester United. Again, we've seen the mistakes he's made in the past. But this is the thing, like, Arteta's teams are built on emotion. And again, that can be a good thing for you.
And that's what Liverpool used to be, though, Con.
For you.
Would you say Liverpool in previous seasons, we as a fan base, before we did win the league title with Jürgen, I think that's even as a fan, in terms of when we used to go to games as well, I think anyone that used to games, far too emotional in terms of the stands as well. Like we'd let the draws and everything. Like
13-14, we didn't have to risk against that. That was poor management from Brendan Rodgers. We did not have to risk that game. It was just get a draw and go and win your next 2 games and you're fine. But again, we tried to do too much towards the back end of the season. He thought he could outclass Jose Mourinho, and Mourinho showed Brendan Rodgers again. Look, you're trying to do something on me, one of the most tactical managers out there at the time, and Liverpool didn't have to do that. If Liverpool had done the smart thing and drawn that game, we wouldn't have to have gone to try and score 5 and 6 against Crystal Palace and then end up drawing the game and losing it. Well, near enough losing it. Yeah. Like those situations, when you look at it, if they were different, Liverpool would have walked away with the Premier League trophy. And that season, I still believe Liverpool should have won the league because Suarez, unbelievable. Gerrard was unbelievable in that year as well. And you look at City, again, they were unbelievable in their own right, but Liverpool for me did enough. But again, those mistakes will live on forever. And again, people go, "Oh, the Gerrard slip," but the Gerrard slip never had to happen. It was this urgency.
That Crystal Palace game makes it just try and remember. Sadly, cast your minds back to where you were. What, like
Dwight Gale?
Yeah. Where's he now? I think he's a free agent, sadly, but obviously, I think he enjoys it anyway. But even that game, Connor, was like, it's mad. But this is why I will never rate Brendan Rodgers. I was telling all the Spurs fans as well. Like, there's one thing you learn from that as Rodgers, but the patterns of play in terms of the years after that did transpire, I just still see Rodgers as like his best football will always be probably at Celtic in terms of the winning the league. Because literally, Sean Dyche could probably win the SPL, if I'm being honest, if he was in charge of that Celtic team. I know that might be a bit far fetched, but I think he would. Like the levels. Big up there, Paul. And tomorrow for a Saturday night special, just thought, well, if you want, we'll do a draft. If you want to come on, Connor, or we'll do a 1 to 11 of Liverpool, our best Liverpool draft. So like 1 to 11. Do you want to do that tomorrow?
Sure.
Yeah. So, chat, get your pen and paper ready for tomorrow. We'll do like our best Liverpool draft. And then obviously, chat, we'll have a poll at the end of the show, or we'll run it at the top of the show.
So wait, what are we doing? So like, if somebody picks one player, other people can't pick it, right?
You can't pick it. Yeah.
Right, okay.
So an all-time Liverpool draft of players. So chat, if you want to tune in for that tomorrow, Saturday night, if you're just staying in or whatnot, we'll do that. It'll be a bit of fun. I'll make all the graphs as well and everything, get all the everything sorted, but just want to keep an eye on there. Kev, you still looking for that?
I'm looking away, man. I'm looking at everything here. It's there. I know it is. I just have to find it because it's one to be. I've shared it a couple of times. Yeah, it's just because I call everything that happened to him. Like it's eerily. Call me. What's his name? What was it? What was that guy's name? The guy who predicted everything back in 17 something. Just got Nostradamus. Call me him.
I thought it was Paul the Octopus. Paul the Octopus. Remember him on Sky Sports? Yeah, Sky Sports Germany or something. When it was a Gator that year, that was peak level Sky Sports when they had Paul the Octopus on the telly. But yeah, it's one of them. But in terms of the final concluding point, and we'll get to everyone's comments as well. Big up there, Paul. So something to look forward to tomorrow, chat. A Liverpool 1 to 11 draft. And chat, you can all get involved in that as well. You obviously will go from goalkeeper, and then obviously you can choose your own formations and everything. So, but yeah, Daesh, not sure if Scotland's is that bad. Oh, nah, sure it is. Sorry, it is. It's Scottish football.
Spoiler,
it's not like when we signed Kenny from the Scottish League. That was peak level, like the fall from grace of Scottish football. Look at Ferguson for what the job in which he done was at Aberdeen anyway. Where obviously, did he win the champion or win a European trophy there or whatnot? And Aberdeen back in the day were massive as well. So come on, Connie, you should know that. But, yeah.
I should know it, but I can't remember.
But obviously, Shankly and all the legendary managers that have all come from Scotland as well. So yeah, sadly, it's obviously due to the footballing rights in terms of the money in it. And that debate. Quickly, Con, do you reckon how big do you reckon Celtic and Rangers would be in the Premier League? Where would you position them? Chat. Do you think they'll do well? Or do you think they'll get relegated to the Championship?
They wouldn't be in the Premier League. Like I've said this to you. Like Celtic may be at a push, but Rangers, no. Like, I don't think Rangers would get in the Premier League. Like, I think Championship team, but I think Celtic maybe. Like, that's a push. But yeah, watch me get slaughtered now by all the Scottish fans.
That's right. Kev,
would you? Celtic might. They get in there in the mid-table. They'll probably get to a Crystal Palace level or maybe like even a Brighton level if they'd.
Like if they have
if they have the money, they have the stadium and they have the push, like, you know. But at the moment, that's where they are. You know, that's just what it is. But they can. There's potential there. They have.
Celtic are very good. Like, if you look at it, like, they sold, was it 29 million? They spent 26 million this summer.
O'Reilly.
They sold 29. Well. Yeah, they sold 29 million pounds. Like, when you look at Rangers, I think Rangers bought, I think it was like 21 million pounds worth and only sold 2 million. Like, that's the difference between it. That's, again, a sustainable club when you look at it. Like, Celtic would be like 17th or 16th, somewhere around there maybe. But again, Rangers, I think, would struggle, just mid-table Championship team.
It's always thing like the back of my mind. I was always thought about that. The thing is that I was literally going to say there, Paul, like, there's players in the Championship, like Van Dijk, like, and it was Warnock done an interview a couple of years ago saying that he could have signed Van Dijk, and everyone basically polished him, was like, yeah, we had a look at Van Dijk. We're like, no. But there probably is ballers in the SPL, but I think ballers that we'll never see because they're getting managed by Rodgers. But it's going to be interesting chat. So, and in regards to Connor, like concluding from obviously going into this season, but in terms of next couple of seasons, what's fundamentally what are you wanting to see from Arne Slot? Just more trophies, be consistent as well, and fingers crossed.
Well, first of all, us to sign Trent, Salah, and Van Dijk new contracts.
It's happening, lads. It's happening.
That'd be perfect. First of all, and then second of all, go and win everything. Go and win the Premier League. Go and win the Champions League. Go and batter United every week at Old Trafford. Be perfect, wouldn't it? And no, but look, again, I'm not going to put any pressure on Arne Slot. Look, it's his first season. Again, we've all got optimistic views of the season ahead, and again, that's without his players, if that makes sense. But again, I'm excited for the future. Again, I think all of us, when Jurgen Klopp announced he'd be leaving Liverpool, I think all of us was dreading it at some point, like, who's going to be next? But I think now we've got the manager in and his style and what he's all about. Again, I'm confident for the seasons ahead, and look, if he can add anything in his first season, would be absolutely terrific for that to happen.
Yeah. Obviously, if anyone just tuned in, now we will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. We will be doing, or might be a bit later, obviously being Saturday night anyway, just depends on Connor's availability and Kev's. But we're doing a draft tomorrow.
I'm gigging tomorrow, but I can do an early one.
So we're doing it. Could have told us that before you were doing it.
All the time.
You were doing Get off Facebook.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're doing a proper Facebook marathon.
I am.
Where you're just scrolling through, lad. And it's just like, get off.
Kev's just currently looking at everything.
I'm going to find this post. I'm going to find it. I'm listening to everything. All
right. There we go. Kev, in terms of off the back of what Connor said as well, going not just this season, but looking forward under Arne Slot. Exciting times, is it?
Oh, yeah. Football is brilliant. The attitude is brilliant from the players. Even when Trent had a small bit of a strop, he showed straight away, look, he understands everything's changed in a bit. Things are, the work's going to have to be done. Look, everybody stepped up. Van Dijk looks effortless again because of the position Slot has played him. I think he studied Van Dijk the way he plays at his best. And he said, well, he's better off in these type of positions, not too high up the pitch. Because when Van Dijk has to chase back, is when you kind of, not when you have him at his weakest, but when you have him at his most vulnerable. Because, unless he's got like a Gomez or somebody who can track back as fast, as him, it's kind of a hard place to put him. But look, it's his understanding of the players and their abilities. And, he put Gravenberch into a position that he knew that he could play from watching him at his time at Ajax. And it's just turned out really, really well. Mac Allister looks effortless. You don't even talk about him that often because there's no mistakes being made, and the passing accuracy is well up there. Everything is good. It's only now Chiesa is going to come in. I think he's going to hit the ground running. I think he suits Slot's football really, really well. It's only now if Nunes and them can now go on and earn the money that was paid from. So they need to step up a little bit more. And if they don't, Slot will move him on and he'll replace him. And that's it. And, it's not a failure on Slot's part if Nunes goes away and there's whatever fan base. Yeah, look, Nunes has had better time at Liverpool than Højlund has had at Manchester United. So nobody can turn around from any rival fan base and say, whatever, he's hit, 15 goals and 18 goals a season. And, he had 11 or 12 assists last season. So, I mean, it's a brilliant turnover from a fella that hasn't even hit anywhere near his peak yet. So, for me, whether it's good enough for Liverpool at a peak level, we won't know. But otherwise, it's not a failure. It's not as bad as what Andy Carroll's numbers were when he was at Liverpool. It's not as bad as what Højlund's numbers are at Manchester United. So that's the thing. All these other strikers are in the league there, man, and they're taking wages away from the team, but they're not scoring goals. What's better doing at Everton? What's this? There's a few more. These guys just aren't cutting the mustard. But anyway, on the Slot, brilliant football so far. I love the underlapping runs. I love the new position for Gravenberch. I love the fact that when somebody's taken off and somebody comes on, the majority of them are just fitting a piece of a puzzle, which works. So yeah, which is great.
I will say in the next 5 years, we'll be sitting here with a league title and a Champions League. I think Arne Slot, not that he's scared about the pressure, but they're the expectations. I think certainly this best team. I think Salah going into the latter stage of his career, some with Van Dijk. I think this is where the performance level, not just this season, but for the next 2-3 years, I think we will be at our pump. Really,
I think it'll be more, Jack. If City get done, I think it'll be more. Yeah. And I think that's the only thing that's stood in the way of Liverpool winning almost everything in the last 10 years because of how City cooked their books to be able to stay just barely ahead of Liverpool. Just remember that. They've only beaten us like a multitude of times by a point. Yeah, by a point the majority of times, I think, in the battle. So it's nuts, man. It's nuts.
So, yeah, hopefully, and that's another show for another night. We might do that next week anyway, because what happened if City do actually get done? What would be the correct punishment for them in terms of stripping the titles? For me, you're gaining an unfair advantage on the pitch. And it's small margins within the Premier League. But if that would mean, for me personally, I'd give titles to Liverpool, give titles to bloody hell, no chance. To is it Tottenham? Tottenham. Oh no, Tottenham finished third, didn't they?
It would be United, Liverpool, and Arsenal.
And Arsenal, yeah.
But the problem is as well with this investigation, it's not including modern day, not modern day, but like it's not counting the last 5 years. There's investigations from 2009 to 2017. So there would have to be another another trial for 2017 to the common day. So if they get proved guilty for those, we're saying they can't get proved guilty for those them again. So they will get something will get charged again. Yeah. There's no way you can be charged 115 charges and get away with all of them.
Yeah, not time barred anyway. It's an independent panel, but I think City fans were losing it because apparently one of them was meant to be an Arsenal fan, or allegedly, as well. But no, it's going to be interesting. Con, massive thank you for coming on, mate, and a massive thank you to everyone that is tuned in tonight. Really do appreciate it. If anyone, there's 42 of you in the chat. Connor is live at 9 p.m. tonight, UK time GMT. Please do head over, show all your support to the Cop Council and get in the comments.
I want to say thank you for having me on, but apparently Chelsea's main partners or shareholders are pulling out of the club.
For what given reason, does it say?
Don't know. It says major break in Chelsea FC's main shareholders are exploring their ownership of the English Premier League football club after little than 2 years in charge. Made relation people family in the matters. So basically, they're just reviewing maybe
they've bought all the players to raise the price. They're going to get a payday from like a Saudi owner, and then they're going to head away and then leave the Saudi owners to deal with all the illegal buys. This is nuts.
That's mad, isn't it? Give us Cole Palmer for 20p, mate. Yeah, we'll have him. Cole Palmer. What a player.
There's a fella that could replace Salah. Could.
Cole Palmer. Come on.
I still rather Mo Salah.
He's literally the only Chelsea player to have anyway.
No, but I mean, like in 3 years' time when they get done, you know.
No.
And Salah's like on the very end of his next contract.
So this is why Arne Slot, he knows what he's doing. He's got the king. He's got this squad. He's got these quality players. He's got the backing of the fans as well around the world. We are winning a lot this season and next season and the year after. I want Anfield, and I honestly hope anyone that goes a game or supporting around the world as well, if we had Anfield electric every single game, we'd win the league by about 20 points every single season, mate. We would. Like we would. We'd have the players, the opposition. It would be a cauldron. But sadly, I get 12:30 kickoffs. It's difficult and that. But I think...
But that's actually true, because if City weren't around and we were the only ones keeping up with City, and if City didn't, do what they did to win the titles, we actually would have won the leagues by 16 to 20 points every one of those seasons. There's nobody else as near us than City. Nobody.
Yeah, so fingers crossed. Let's get Anfield rocking this season as well. And I can't wait for Cases, if he's playing or he's on the bench and listening to Never Walk Alone as well. Exciting seasons ahead, not just this season, Reds. We're going nowhere as a football club. It's exciting times. Connor, so you're live, obviously, Cop Council on all socials, mate, yeah?
Yep. Cop Council, so come and check us out.
Yeah, do it. Kev, where can everyone find you, please, mate? You're still on Facebook, lads, hopefully, no?
I am, yeah. No, not in this. No. You can still find me on Facebook, though, if you want. But lads, you'll find me at Spider LFC everywhere for football, and you'll find me at Irish Spider Guy for gaming and Spider in most places.
Yeah. No, so big up there, chat. Absolute legends as well. As I said, we will be live tomorrow in regards to obviously the draft of anything news relation breaks. We'll speak about that as well. But everyone, if you didn't work or whatnot, have a good weekend. But if you're off or whatnot, have a very good start to your weekend as well. Hopefully everyone is safe and well, the most important thing. And as always, if you are watching on the repeat, do get involved in what we've had to little talk about tonight as well. Good luck.
Yeah, just a bit of thing. If it is the thing I'm reading about, which is the adductor muscle injury for Mac Allister, if it is that kind of area, then if it's only a strain, it could be only around a week or so, week to 2 weeks. If it's anything that's grade 1, grade 2, and grade 3, it could be 2 weeks to get normal movement back. It could be 3 to 6 weeks if it's a grade 2, and if it's a grade 3, it could be 4 months. But it looks like it's just kind of, because he played the game and all that, it could just be a strain and he just needs to rest. So it could be 1 to 2 weeks, even if he's not ready for Bournemouth, he'll be ready for the West Ham game after. Or sorry, not ready for Nottingham Forest. Yeah. He should be ready for Bournemouth or West Ham. So
I haven't seen a manager. Give him a rest off. He's literally played so many minutes. I think Arne Slot will be on the blower anyway in terms of tonight. Like, lads, do not play him, please. Thing is, Liverpool pays wages. Just call him back. Just say, Alexis, come back, lads. Yeah, recuperating time at Liverpool as well. And Diaz, obviously playing for Colombia next week as well. How did Colombia get on, Con? Did they win last week?
I don't know.
They're playing tonight, so fingers crossed Lucho can get a goal or two. If no one's seen Lucho play for Colombia, he's already playing well. Like, he's probably going to get a hat-trick tonight, the form he's in.
They're playing Peru at half 2.
So, in the morning, is it? So, Saturday morning.
Yeah, so we'll have not Darwin, because Darwin's banned. Uruguay are on 12:30 UK time, Brazil 2:00, and then Colombia 2:30.
So, chat, if you're not busy, go and check out Lucho, because we know how good he's already, 3 goals in the Premier League, but Lucho, what a player. And check out an interview that BBC Sports have done as well. Very good interview with John Barnes. It's Lineker and Shearer with Barnesy as well. So definitely check that out. It's already on their YouTube channel, so it's a very good listen as well and a good watch. Really great interview from Barnesy as always.
So, sorry, last thing. So apparently it's a civil war at Chelsea. Apparently Clear Lake Capital and Todd Bowley are assessing whether they can potentially buy each other out. Are made of damaged relations within people are said to believe that both parties believe they can buy each other out.
Hello there, Hicks and Gillette.
Yeah,
are they even still around, like in terms of buying and selling?
They don't like each other at all.
No, it's going to be one of them. So yeah, thing is, the world of football is absolutely bonkers, and hopefully, whatever happen, hopefully due process in regards to Manchester City, because the fan base deserve it. As we joke about it, what happens with City as well, but at the end of the day, like with every football club, it's the fans that pay the price for the misfortunes and the mismanagement from these big football clubs as well. Like you've got multi-millionaires, billionaires in charge of these football clubs that have been around for like 100 plus years as well. It's not just a business. It's literally ingrained in the communities up and down the UK. Like, look at Bury, disappeared. Look at Portsmouth, a great football club like them as well. Years have gone by that they struggle financially. Bolton had financial issues as well. And yeah, hopefully the lawmakers in regards to the Premier League and the Championship just get their act together really and put the foot down and make sure the proper footballing people are running the governing bodies properly as well. Kev, where are you live tonight, mate, on any of your socials? Where can
I was live there for about 5 or 6 hours playing Black Myth Wukong on Twitch directly. So I'm in the middle of that. If you don't know what that is, it's just remember that old TV show Monkey Magic. Remember that guy? It's kind of like based on that kind of Chinese heritage, but it's all taken on Chinese mythical monsters and creatures of like half human, half animal thing. But it's one of the biggest games on the planet at the moment. It's fantastic.
There we go. So get into your game and go and check out Kev and all of his socials. But everyone that's tuned in tonight, have a love. You're going out tonight. Look after yourselves and have a very good Friday evening. Connor is live at 9, so head over there as well. But Reds, as always, see you tomorrow for another episode. And as always, Reds, you'll never walk alone. Thank you, everyone.